I was having dinner with my business partner about a week ago, and I told him that the thing that I was most excited about with Oracle was that I was experimenting in a way with leading a company from a place of alignment always. So that means that before, when I had businesses, they were more traditional and you follow certain business protocols. This is how things are done and things work. It's great. You know, you run a business, you run it well. But I feel like the next step in running a well managed business would be a business that is really aligned, where not just the people at the top or the owners of it are aligned, but that everyone in the company is aligned. And so how do we create a company where all the employees are aligned? And I know that there's a lot of stuff out there, business coaching and all that does look at dynamics and, the society within the business and strives to have harmony and, for people to feel good. But I mean, beyond that, how do we make sure that at a soul level, the people that work at a company are aligned? Because we are all unique, and I am not good at every aspect in my business. And somebody else is not good at the things that I'm good at. I think that's why my business partner and I get along so well. He is so good at tech and development. I'm not at all. I'm good with energy, with at this point in time, I'm just very good with alignment. And so I'm curious to see what happens when you create a company where everyone's aligned, following their soul's purpose. And again, I think that, and this is where the experiment lies, right? That there will be enough balance of people within a company to take care of everyone, because everyone's doing something that is their passion and their purpose. So for example, you get creatives that love creating, you get more the nurturers, you get more the analytical people. So we're all different. And if we knew ourselves really well and we tapped into that which made us excited and we applied from that space, and everybody was very aligned and excited. And I know it sounds like a bit like utopia, but it could be done, right? Much better, at least, than what we're doing now. What can we create with that? And what are the ramifications of that individually and, within our families, our society, and to the world at large? So that is something that excites me. And how that translates into practical terms, or at least how I have been doing it over the last few months, is really trying to give benefit to everyone that's within the company. So for Oracle, if you actually are part of Oracle, then that monthly subscription that you pay actually goes towards what I call soul equity, which means that when we raise funds and we turn our shares, our equity into shares, then you can also turn those dollars that you put into the company into shares. So in that way, you're paying for your own ownership. You are putting money into your own company. That's just one idea. But throughout the day, there are circumstances and instances where I have the freedom to think a little bit differently and go, wait. Instead of doing it the traditional way, what would be a more aligned way? And so again, things like, for example, if somebody wants to leave, like I'm 100% fine. And in fact, I'm like, please tell me why you're leaving. And, sometimes it is about me and sometimes it's about them. And I can tell the difference, right? When somebody leaves and I can see it's about them anyway, I almost prefer it because, like, sort yourself out in a loving way. You know what I mean? Like, be aligned before you join us, because if you're misaligned, you also affect, the rest of the team. And so, yeah. And so it's encouraging people to feel that alignedness within themselves, right? And then to come forth with that, but to any sort of job. And I don't know if I'm explaining myself that well, but I I'm excited about experimenting with this, seeing how I change in the process, which I have. I mean, it's affecting me so much. Trying to, be somebody that it ends up, well, being me. It's a wonderful experiment, and that's why I'm so passionate about Oracle as well. The invitation to get to know oneself, from at least for me, it just really affects everything. And that's just how it is. And I think that is something we forget, because we have all heard that in our lives a million times, right? You affect your reality. Cool. And I think most people watching this will believe it to be true. And so that's great. But when we step out the door, we actually have to live that. And it's hard. It's hard. It's definitely hard to live that at times. I don't know why. But we have to try, because everything will be affected. And once we start practicing and seeing it and realizing, oh my gosh, it really is this way, you just keep looking more inward and inward and inward, with caution, not to live in la la land all the time, because that's the other issue sometimes with looking at ourselves. I know for myself, like there are times when you go, just come back, because bills need to be paid, things need to be done. And also we're here to have the experience of drama, right? If there was no drama, we wouldn't come down here. We kind of sign up for the novel. And so live it, you know what I mean? And I don't want to say live, because it's not, I don't want to preach. This is what I'm worried about with this YouTube channel. And for myself, I don't want to do it. I want to be able to express what I'm really feeling, and see if it resonates, see if it helps, right? And again, especially when it comes to this running the company from a different perspective, there's so many things that could potentially happen differently from traditional companies. And I'd love to pave the way for other companies to start doing things like this. Not every one of those things is going to work, though. And I've also realized that you try something, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And you can't keep pushing something that's not going to turn. I think that's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned. One of them, because I've learned so many in the last 3 years that I've been doing this, 4 years maybe, since it started. But we want things to work so badly, and we're willing to put in the work, and we do. And we know that sometimes perseverance wins the battle. But what I'm learning is that we got to, if a battle's not going to be won, just let it go very soon. And admit that you're human. Admit that you tried something and it didn't work, and you learned something as a result. And it's as long as there's humility there's no shame, right? And so that I've learned, and it's been much easier. You just let it go and you say, yeah, well, just it didn't work. We tried. Now we're trying this thing, but we're smarter now. And I think that openness is important for me to have, and for leaders to have. We're not perfect. No leader of a company is perfect. No one's perfect. But let's play to our strengths too. And so if we can lead a company, I feel like I want to stretch my entrepreneurial muscles, because I've done the traditional stuff. It's worked. I've proven it to myself. Well done. And now it's like a challenge. How do you take that and add this third layer of soul alignment? So I think that with that said, I'm going to end this. Yeah, I'm glad I made this video. I feel like it's been honest, and I'm excited to see what else I have the guts to share. Because sometimes it does boil down to that, and that's part of what this journey is all about. A big part of that. Thank you. Thank you for watching.